Legendary Athletes is sponsored by Legends Bay Casino in Sparks.
NSN Tonight continues. Our Shannon Kelly recently caught a ball game this past weekend and also caught up with a former local standout and our latest legendary athlete. The A's were hosting the Tigers over at Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento with that visiting Detroit team featuring 2012 Galena High School graduate Drew Anderson.
The ride's been good. Pitching in Korea kind of enhanced my game, and I was able to come back over here with the Tigers because I was here, previously in 24 with just the, AAA, and got to know the guys and got to know all the coaches and the coaching staff and everything, and I thought it was a great fit for me to come back here. And it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good this whole year. Ups and downs, but that's kind of baseball.
Could you just speak on the moment when, you received the news that the Tigers wanted to bring you back on a one-year deal this season?
We were kind of talking, and I was doing good in Korea, and, it kind of just worked out that way. A handful of teams, but, I ultimately, wanted to go back to the Tigers.
Why is that in particular you wanted to rejoin the Tigers organization?
Just, the coaching staff and the guys on the team, I really, clicked with them and thought it was a good fit.
You could just speak overall these past 4 years, having spent some time in Japan and then now in Korea the last 2 years, how you feel like that's just prepared you now as you've come back to the major leagues.
Yeah, it's definitely helped me grow, because when you go over there, you're alone and you're on an island and you're by yourself most of the time. Yeah, you have another foreigner with you, but most of the time, if you're trying to get work in, it's on your own. The coaches can only say so much to you, and there's only so many interactions that you can have. So you really have to find, going overseas and finding yourself. That's kind of how it is.
I guess what have been the biggest differences then pitching in those leagues versus pitching in the majors here?
In those leagues, it's a lot more contact, but not as much power and damage. Here, they, you can definitely make a mistake and they'll hit it over the fence because they're, that's what they're trying to do. Over there, some of them do it. Like Murakami, he's with the White Sox. He can hit homers anywhere. And same with Okamoto. But yeah, you only get a couple of those guys in the lineup. Everybody else is kind of just the slap hitter, putting it in play and making, situational baseball. And here, obviously it's fantastic, and the hitters are all great, so much power and everything like that. So you could definitely make a mistake, and you could it costs you sometimes.
How do you feel like you've been able to find your niche in the Tigers bullpen this season?
Yeah, I've been kind of doing everything. I've started and closed and did middle and everything like that. It's been feeling good. It's out in the bullpen, so you just never know what's going to happen.
Where do you feel like you've grown most maybe this year, just from the experiences that you've learned there and just your time previously in the majors?
Where I've grown here is, I'm definitely learning that if you throw hanging pitches, it gets hit over the fence, and that's something that you got to learn and keep it down.
Is there an area in particular that you really tried to work on there over in Korea that could help land you back here, or was there anything mechanic-wise?
Mechanic-wise, I've always had the kind of same mechanics. It's definitely gotten fine-tuned over the years, just by growing and maturing and learning what I need to do. I think I gained a lot of weight too over there. I gained 30 pounds, so I think that's helped my velocity jump way up.
Have you surprised yourself at all this season?
I'd hate to say this is exactly how I thought I was going to do it, but no, a little bit. No, I haven't surprised myself, no, to be honest.
No, that's okay. I just didn't know. After your 4 years, could you speak about the grind then maybe of those past 4 years and how that's led you to this spot now in this role? Because this is the most time you've seen on the mound with any organization.
Oh, yeah. It was just the opportunity. I was able to go over there and succeed and then get an opportunity here.
What has it meant then to wear this Tigers uniform on your chest?
It's been fantastic. I love it. I love the D. I love I love Detroit. Detroit's awesome. Yeah, it's been a great organization.
Because I had read something too, and you mentioned wanting to come back to the Tigers. Like, you had kept in touch with the Mud Hens, the pitching coach, if that's correct, when you were over there. Like, I guess just how badly did you want to come back and to be able to be here?
Yeah, I talked with Doug Bachler, our pitching coach down there. We always had like a good connection and interaction, so I always like to keep in touch with old coaches and whatnot. But yeah, it helped out and worked out.
Just the goals for yourself and team the rest of this season as you push the final stretch here.
Just keep throwing zeros and win baseball games. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. And to be playing close to home here this weekend, if you could just speak on what that means to you, being able to see some family and friends.
Yeah, being from Reno, it's only 2.5 hours away, so family and friends are able to come out. A lot of them came today. Unfortunately, it's going to be 104 degrees and it's going to just be hot and no shade. But yeah, it's always nice to have them supporting me and coming out and seeing me and hanging out and talking to them and having them chirp me in the bullpen. It's always fun.
I mean, when you think back to when you were drafted back in 2012 and now it's been more than 10 years later, I guess if you could just speak on your entire baseball ride that's led you to this point.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I know. It sounds so long ago. Yeah, the grind. Just coming up through the minor leagues and finding your friends and hanging out and playing baseball. Like, there's nothing better than that. And then actually getting to AAA and the big leagues and like going overseas, and it just turns into that business, and then like it completely flips everything. Like, obviously you still have your friends and family and teammates and stuff like that, but it definitely comes down to more business, and it's like, all right, now I have to get serious. So like the first handful of years in AAA or single A and double A and stuff like that, those were like my college years because I was only 20, 21 years old, so I was able to have a lot of fun with those guys. And now it's like, it's serious and like you get to business.
And if you could just maybe speak on your high school coach too, and Ron McNutt, and what you learned from him, if there's anything that you still take with you on the mound when you're out there today that you learned from Coach McNutt.
Yeah, I love Ron McNutt. I still keep in touch with him today. Yeah, he's always rooting me on and chatting up a little bit. I think he's in Boise, Idaho now, and he's living life and retired, and he's still he's still working at the golf course. I don't think he'll ever stop working at the golf course, but yeah, just it's always right here with him.
And just maybe your advice to kids that are from Reno, they too can achieve their dreams, whether it's going overseas and playing or doing whatever they can to get to the pro level like you did.
Yeah, there's a handful of us from Reno. It's small, but just keep grinding and loving baseball. Like, once you stop loving baseball, then it gets really hard, but you just have to keep loving baseball and loving the grind and loving hanging out with the same guys every single day for the rest of your life. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Because with this bullpen in particular, I guess, is there, I guess if you could maybe just speak on the camaraderie of this Tigers pitching staff.
Yeah, us out in the bullpen, we have a good time. There's some young guys and a lot of older guys, and we have Kenley out there, Kenley Jensen, and Kyle Finnegan, a couple older veteran guys. They're always hanging out, and we're always talking. It's great. Me and Tyler Holton, we play catch every single day together and golf together, and we do a lot of stuff together. So it's always nice to have guys like that where everyone kind of mingles pretty well, and dinners and drinks and whatnot, and we do whatever, play cards. It's a lot of fun.
What was the best thing about living in Japan and Korea?
The best thing about living in Japan and Korea? Obviously Japan is very clean and everyone's very nice, and you get treated like, the superstar over there in Hiroshima. The best thing, the food was really good. There's a lot of good things. It's hard to single it down to one thing out there.
And just maybe if you could speak on your skipper and AJ Hinch, just maybe what you've learned from him and the belief he's given you this season.
Yeah, AJ does a great job. How he handles the bullpen and whatnot, I really like it, and that's another reason that I wanted to come back as well, is because you're going to pitch he's going to get you in there. He's going to put you in good situations, and we're all about the matchup, so you're going to pitch against the guy that he knows that you can get him out. And that makes it a lot easier.
So many thanks to Drew for taking some time before that Sunday matinee with the A's, which the Tigers won 11-0 to complete a 3-game sweep. Anderson appeared in that game. 1 1/3 innings of work. He allowed no runs and struck out 2.